Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and this is all about my life after gastric bypass surgery. And today's video is about what I eat typically about 10 and a half months post-op. Just a couple quick housekeeping items. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my journey. Thank you so much for all the comments and the recommendations for the types of videos that you guys like seeing. I really like putting out information that you guys are interested in, so thanks so much for that feedback. If you're not a subscriber, I just ask that you kindly consider subscribing if you do like this kind of content and you want to see more. And make sure to ring the little notification bell so you get notified when my new videos are posted. I got a few requests recently about doing a what I eat in a day or the types of food that I'm eating post-op. So I figured I'd throw that together for you guys. So you can see typically what kinds of food I'm eating, but I also tracked it and made sure to put in all of the macros so that you get an idea of what my overall picture is like. Jumping right into things, I start my morning off every day with a protein coffee. So I've been really into this pumpkin spice latte fake thing that I've done. I have the pumpkin spice K-Cups from Starbucks. I brew that up and I add a pumpkin spice Premier protein to it, and I find that to be a really good substitute for a pumpkin spice latte. It really hits the spot. It's nice and warm in the morning, and it just sort of helps me start my day. Next, I take my morning vitamins. That consists of a probiotic, my daily omeprazole, and I have switched my multivitamin to a prenatal. Hey Mom, did you notice there's a cat here? Because I don't think you noticed. This morning I started off with half a bagel. I don't normally have food or bagels for that matter in the morning, but every once in a while I'll pick one up at the store and I'll eat a half at a time. And let's be honest, this is just a vehicle for cream cheese. I placed an order recently for Smart Sweets. I've been really into these. They are really low sugar candies, and they were having a sale on the website, and I decided I'd get a whole bunch of the gummy bears that I really, really like. The entire package is only 4 grams of sugar, and I find them to be a really, really great way to curb a sweet tooth for me. The stats really aren't too bad. I mean, yeah, it's candy, it's junk food, it's not healthy for me, and it does have quite a bit of carbs, but I love them and they really, really help me curb a sweet tooth without making me sick. So I like to have those on hand for just an occasional treat. Also this day, I decided to do some food prep, so you'll get an idea of some of the things that I'm prepping for the week as well. I went and got a kabocha squash at the store. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is squash season, so I'm super excited. Another order that I placed recently came in, and it's for the Robert Irving's Fit Crunch protein bars. I don't know why I'm not seeing this around more. I see a whole bunch of things for Built Bars. I don't find Built Bars to be all that interesting. Protein bars are a huge talking point, and so many post-op bariatric patients eat and rely on protein bars, and this is by far the absolute best tasting one that I have found. I am obsessed with these, and the new flavor, the strawberry strudel flavor, is so good. They have so many really good flavors too, like peanut butter and jelly, which just has this quintessential peanut butter and jelly flavor that I don't know how else to describe it. As you can see, I have a very large box of them. We just get these all the time. And they have, like I said, really interesting flavors. Milk and cookies. There's a lemon cake flavor. There is a apple pie flavor that's actually really interesting and really yummy and cinnamony. The mint chocolate chip literally tastes like Thin Mints. And honestly, the stats are pretty good on these. They're only about 200 calories. They have very low sugar and, relatively low carbs for a protein bar. And if you're doing net carbs, they're actually much lower than 14 grams. And it has a decent amount of protein in it. I find 16 grams of protein is absolutely plenty. I don't really like the taste of the bars that have, 20 plus grams of protein in it. I can just taste the difference. So I am prepping some food for the week. This is probably what I'm gonna have for lunch today. Also, I cubed up a ham steak. I actually just bought this ham steak. I find that it is easier to just buy a slab of ham now and cut it up and do, small portions of it throughout the week. So I have my ham, and then I got this a little while back, this giant Gouda slice from Costco. I've been slowly working off of it. So I just cubed up some pieces of Gouda over here, and I will be working off of these through the week. Like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and have this for lunch today, so I will show you that when I sit down, probably in about an hour for lunch. There's also a sale on this giant meat log, so I'm going to go ahead and break this up into 4 roughly equal parts and put those in the freezer for when I need other meals. Alright, so I've got these partitioned off, and I made them nice and flat, so they should be really easy to thaw out if I need any beef throughout the week. And then I have 2 leftover chicken breasts that I went ahead and also put into a Ziploc so that I will be able to just thaw and make those if needed. I continued my food prep by scraping out all of the squash and just putting it into a container so that I can easily access it throughout the week. Like I said, this is one of my favorite seasons. I love squash so much, and I'm a little bit obsessive about it this year because I didn't have a chance to have any squash last year. It was not approved on the pre-op diet, and I didn't get any all winter long. So I am definitely making up for that and having a bunch of it on hand if I get hungry. Don't mind how overgrown my yard is, but look at how cute these birds are having fun in the rain. At lunchtime, I take 3 more vitamins. This is when I take my iron, which is a cherry flavored chew, and I also take folic acid and biotin to help support hair and nail growth. On this particular day, I ended up actually skipping most of lunch. I had a very chaotic grooming appointment that took most of my time. So when I got home, I just had a yogurt. I really like these Dannon Light and Fit yogurts. They're really satisfying. And then I also had a handful of grapes while I was waiting on dinner to cook. For dinner that night, we decided to go with something really easy. So we have these mini pies in our freezer. So we decided to just go with that. The first one is a steak and stout pie, and I ate half of that, and I've been splitting them with my boyfriend. And then the second pie was a chicken tikka masala pie, and by the time I got to this one, I really actually only ate 1/4 of the pie. I just wasn't hungry enough for the rest of it. So I listened to my hunger cues and I stopped. After dinner, I take my last vitamins. It's when I have my calcium chew, and at the same time I take my vitamin D. I am taking my second prenatal for the day. And lately I've been ending my night with a glass of tea. I've been trying to do herbal tea. I have a tendency to drink a glass of black tea at the end of the night, but I am a little bit worried that the caffeine is interfering with my sleep. So I've switched over to herbal tea, and today I'm trying this cranberry harvest flavor, which is so warm and comforting and just really reminds me of fall. I let that steep for a few minutes, and then I add a squirt of stevia liquid sweetener to that. I found sugar-free wafer cookies, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because they're absolutely delicious. So I just try to keep to 3 or 4 of them. So as you can see, my stats for this day, I had about 1,100 calories, which seems to be pretty consistent when I'm tracking my food. My carbs do vary. This day was a little bit higher carbs, partially because I had the half of bagel, which I don't normally have, and we decided to have the pies for dinner. So that did jack up the carbs a little bit. I tend to try to keep my carbs at under 100 grams per day. So today was really on par with the types of stats that I try to keep to. I had relatively low sugar and a moderate amount of protein today, so I feel like my macros were pretty on point. I decided to quickly show you a second day of what I typically eat so that you get a better idea. And yesterday was just a little bit different than what I normally do. So this is probably more on par with what I try to do daily. I started off again with another pumpkin spice protein coffee, and I have that in a to-go cup because I'm heading out to an office today and I'm not working from home. I have these little bento box to-go containers I decided to use to take food with me. I did momentarily think that maybe I would get some food while I was out, and this is where my new mindset comes into play, and I decided to take my food with me. So I weighed out 2 ounces of the ham that I had cut up and prepped the day before, and 1 ounce of the Gouda cheese cubes, and put those together. I then added 3 bread and butter pickles. I just really love having pickles with my lunch. And I added a Baby Bell white cheddar cheese also because it sounded good. I also included some grapes. And as you see, what I wanted to take was 8 ounces of grapes. And I decided that was probably way more grapes than I actually needed. So I took them off of the stems and I weighed out a more reasonable 3.5 ounces of grapes to take with me. I also included these 2 sugar-free mint patties that I have been eating lately because it's Halloween after all, and this is how I'm getting through it. And I also added a Fit Crunch protein bar as a snack throughout the day if I get hungry. Then I just stacked everything up in this cute little container and took it with me to work. I also made sure to take with me a big tumbler of Crystal Light so that I tried to remember to continue to drink while I was driving to the office. It was about a 45-minute drive. Always trying to remember to stay hydrated, and this is a really good way for me to get in some liquids. For dinner that night, I had some chicken that I had actually prepped the day before and I didn't show. And then I had about 4 ounces of the prepared squash. Again, I ended my night out with a glass of tea. This time it's a lemon loaf herbal tea. I really love this. It really does taste like a dessert. I let that steep for a few minutes and again add a squirt of the liquid stevia, and this time a splash of half and half to make it a little bit creamy. And I decided tonight that I would have a sugar-free Jell-O pudding. So the stats on this day, again, were about 1,100 calories. It seems to be, no matter what I do, kind of where I end up. Today was a lot more protein at 100 grams, partially because I had that protein bar for a snack, and I tend to hit higher protein goals when I'm eating meats and cheeses for lunch. There was a little bit higher sugar today, but that really came from the natural sugars in the grapes mostly, so I'm not very concerned about it. Overall, I think my macros look really good. I was really happy with today with a little bit higher protein and a little bit lower carb, but I typically just focus on balance rather than worrying too much about my macros on any individual given day. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and informative for you. If you want to see more content like this, just let me know. Please like and comment on the video the types of things that you would like to see. If you want to see more eating videos, if you want to see more research videos, just let me know and I would be happy to put that together for you guys. So thanks so much again for watching. Remember to always look at the big picture and celebrate all of those little achievements along the way. And I'll see you guys in the next one.